7 days in Tenerife. Were the prices outrageous or were they affordable? So let me tell you all about it. We'll go over the flight prices, the most I've ever paid for a flight in Tenerife. Terrible prices. And we'll discuss the hotel prices, which weren't too bad, although I did stay in some real crackers on this trip. So we'll go over all the costings with you just now. Thanks very much if you watched all the Tenerife videos. I'm back in Scotland at the moment. Next trip's been delayed a wee bit. Hopefully it'll be away soon. In the meantime, we've got some Malta videos coming up and we'll have an edited one in Liverpool. I'll show you a nice hotel. We'll be in the Cavern Club and that'll be coming up on the channel soon. But let's continue. I'll have to get the pound glasses on. Let's go for it. What do you think? It's so cold in Scotland I have to wear a cap in the house. That's how cold it is. Okay, so the flights were with Ryanair. We'll go over that just in a wee second and I'll tell you about the costing of the hotels in case you've missed any of the room reviews. I'll leave a link at the end up there. You can click on the playlist. You can check out all the rooms that I've stayed in when I was in Tenerife. Next destination will probably be announced in the newsletter before I go away. So pop in your email address and the wee link I'll leave down there. It's absolutely free. Also, if you missed the news in Tenerife, I've left a few pints behind a few bars as part of the 50,000 subscriber giveaway. Thanks for all your support. I really appreciate it. If there's still any left, pop in to these bars. The Scotsman Pool Bar in Adeke, Scotch Corner in Adeke, Radio Beach in Las Americas, and Scotch Mist in Los Cristianos. Just mention the channel. If you've got any beers left, you get a wee free beer. And maybe have some food as well. A couple other beers. They're good bars. Just a wee thank you as well to all the guys recently who've donated to the channel. I really appreciate all your support. If you've watched the videos, that's the main thing. The videos are free and I really appreciate everybody watching videos. If you watched them right to the end, you're an absolute superstar. A wee thanks to Sam and Rick and Annette and Kayla who I met in Tenerife. Gave me a wee kind donation for the channel. Thanks so much. Also for all the guys who have recently bought a coffee. Graham Bett, Ray Duffy, Lynn Anderson and the Teesside Traveller. All the other guys I've mentioned in previous videos, a wee thank you. So thanks for all support. All the coffees are going towards a special trip coming soon. Maybe next year now, but coming soon. Okay, so the flights are with Ryanair. Quite a lot of people have asked me, how do I book flights? How do you get cheap flights? Normally my flight prices are quite good. I have had a flight before for €5. This time it was not the case. I had to go away in the school holidays, which I try and avoid at all costs because the prices from Scotland are through the roof for flights. But I was tied for dates. I could only go to Tenerife on this date. So the flights were booked through skyscanner.net. So I just check flexible dates, one or day out. Try and move your flights around a wee bit if you can. You might save a bit of money. Then I booked direct with the airline. In this case, it was Ryanair. The flights, wait for it, the dearest ever on the channel. It paid me to pay this. £254 return. Terrible. Now I know I've got quite a lot of viewers from Dublin who tell me, Kevin, that's normal prices from Ireland. It's really expensive, but it's the most I've ever paid. I'll give you an example. In the next couple of weeks at Tenerife, there's return flights for under £60 from Scotland. Now I won't be going back to Tenerife for a wee while, but in the next couple of weeks, you could go to the Canaries for under £60 return. So it's supply and demand. If you go on school holidays, you're going to pay a lot more. So flights 254. Let's go through the hotels. The first night, I was arriving quite late and the Scotland game was on, so I was heading straight out. Wasn't spending any time in it, so I stayed in my normal place in Los Cristianos, the wee hostel, the Pension Player. That was £30 through booking.com. It's actually quite a nice wee hostel. You get a private room, but I did forget it didn't have air conditioning, and in Tenerife at the time, a Kalima was just finishing, so it was still very hot. So the room was unbelievably hot. So I would only probably recommend this when the temperature comes down a wee bit. So if you want to stay in a budget accommodation hostel in Los Cris, this is the best one, the Pension Player. But probably go when the temperature's more in the early 20s. That's the maximum the room will be comfortable in. If you go in the summer, it'll be unbearable. Just my honest opinion. The next night we did move to an even worse accommodation, the Pension Casablanca. Now this room is so small I couldn't even do a room review on it. I put it on an edited vlog, you would have seen it in the channel. £21 through hotels.com. The only reason I booked it is because everything else was well over £130, £140 for a night in Los Cristianos. And for me, doing videos, not being in the room, I just couldn't justify the extra £100. I did regret it when I was lying in the room during the night with a fan next to my face the whole night. It was unbelievably bad, so bad. I don't recommend the Pension Casablanca unless you go and it's really, really cold in Tenerife, which it never really is. Maybe January and February, you could get away with it for one night, but otherwise, you'll need to be hardcore to stay in there. Okay, so next we went up to Porto Del Cruz. I had a lovely wee day in Porto Del Cruz. I like Porto Del Cruz. I really enjoy going up there. It's so different in the south. If the videos got more views, I would go there on every trip to Tenerife, without a doubt. It was great to meet Steve, the North Tenerife man, and Lee from Pearson's Adventures. Check out their channel on YouTube. I stayed in the Atypical Capsule Hostel. Now, if you've seen the video, or if you've not, I'll leave you a link here, just down here at the end. You can click on it. It's a wee capsule. A lot of people said, no way, Kevin. Claustrophobic, couldn't stay in there. I'm telling you right now, I had one of the best sleeps in that wee capsule. It was absolutely fine. It had a good vibe, good atmosphere. It was comfortable. What basically happens with youth hostels, it's just your luck who's in the room with you. You could be in with somebody really annoying with their phone on during the night, somebody setting alarms off at 2 or 3 in the morning going for flights. That's just the way it works with hostels. You have to accept that. I got lucky with this one, and it was quite a good night, no complaints. Would I stay again? Probably would. Recommend it for an experience. Okay, so then we went down to Las Americas and I stayed in the Allegro Baranka apartments. So that's right next to Paddy O'Kelly's, across from Marshall's and the Chieftain. Quite a good, lively location. The apartments are very basic. You would have seen the room review. The first room did get flooded. The air conditioning was leaking. To be fair, they did fix that. I didn't have to move rooms. I thought I was going to have to move. And would I recommend apartments? I paid £51 per night through hotels.com. It was by far the cheapest in Las Americas. They've made a big mistake with these apartments. The balconies and the terraces are shocking, apart from the rooms that overlook the pool. The way they've designed them, the walls are too high, you feel hemmed in. Can't really describe it, but they've spent millions building the apartments and then they've messed up the whole building with the terraces, in my opinion. So, probably would stay again because the location, quite like. Would I stay there for a week or 2 weeks? Only for the really nice room. The best rooms are the rooms overlooking the pool. The pool's really small, but it's quite nice. And the pool, you can almost walk out your room and walk right into it. A lot of the sunbeds next to the pool were part of the apartments next to it as well. So I didn't see many communal sunbeds next to the pool. So that's something to bear in mind as well. But they're just 3-star, they're basic, they're okay for a night or two. Then we moved on to the Playa Elite, or was it in the Playa Elite first and then I moved on? I can't remember. The Playa Elite in Costa Adeje. Wee bit of a hilly location, but the apartment itself was absolutely fine. I've got no complaints about the apartment. I had quite an okay night in the apartment. The complex, lots of families, quite lively. I think I paid £59 for this. I couldn't actually find my email telling me how much I paid. From memory, it was something like £59. Would I stay there again? Probably would stay there again, yeah, probably would. The only thing that did freak me out, when I was going back at night, outside my room, there was quite a lot of cockroaches kicking about outside. So after the experience in Malta, I was a bit worried about the rooms, but I never seen any of the rooms, to be fair, so let me know what the rooms are like if you stayed there yourself. And the last night, we moved on to the Commodor apartments in Los Cristianos. Now, I've got mixed feelings about the Commodor. The location is brilliant, it's right on the seafront, but that could be a negative because it's quite close to a busy main road at the front of the building. The apartments are incredibly dated from 19 Canteen. The sea view rooms are amazing. They've got some of the best rooms you can get in Los Cristianos looking out to sea. But no air conditioning, boiling. I would never stay there in the summer, ever. The rooms were just far too hot. And the complex is pretty dated. The pool area is actually, it's not nice, but it's a nice location. They've got a nice wee restaurant as well, which is quite nice. The only thing that would tempt me to stay there again in the winter, maybe when it's cooler, is they've got a shower room. So if you've got a late flight the next day, you can actually use the shower room down at the pool, which for me would tempt me because I can head out and do videos and then come back and get a quick shower before I go to the airport. That's the only way I'd stay in the Commodoro. Somebody did mention if the sun wasn't shining, it looked like a slum. And I kind of know what they mean because it's a weird setup. The room I was in, you have to go around 2 or 3 different corridors around the side of the building. It's just a very old, dated complex. You could argue it's got character, but the rooms are boiling. So that's my thoughts. I paid £61 through booking.com. It's not worth £61, no way. I've stayed in Los Cristianos, in the Beverly Hills, Tenerife Sur, Christian Sur, even Castle Harbour, Atlantida. They're all basic apartments, but they're all nice on the Commodoro, and it all cost me less than that. So it's not worth the money, but it is what it is. So the total for the hotels and the capsules was £296. The flights were £254. So 1 week in Tenerife cost me £550. But this is really in peak season because the hotel prices were very high. So flights were really expensive. Hotels were not too bad. Thanks for all support watching the videos. I really, really appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, do me a favour, hit the wee subscribe button there on your phone. If you're on your TV, hit the wee camera icon down there. Just click OK. And that'll subscribe you. It's absolutely free. Next destination, I'm booking flights the next few days, hopefully. I've been delayed a wee bit, just things back home, I've not been able to go away. So, probably going to be one of the Canaries, Lanzarote, Fuerteventura or Gran Canaria. Could also be Morocco. And I don't think there's anywhere else I'm considering at this point, but you never know what deals might come up. Maybe I'll go further away. We'll wait and see. Thanks for all support. Hope you've enjoyed the wee costing videos, and it cost more than €20 for that wee capsule, and that was the best sleep I had. Thanks for watching. See you next one.